Hey, what's up, YouTube? Got some cars today. Went to the local diecast meet and made a couple of small purchases and a pretty decent trade. So we're gonna crack some cars. But before I start cracking cars, I want to show you a couple of the loose car finds that I found. I found this for 50 cents, and I already have this, but I'll take this for 50 cents all day, every day. It's even with it missing some of its parts. It's only missing the side running boards, but otherwise it is in really nice shape. This is from Walker Texas Ranger, from Johnny Lightning. He's still got the big push bar on the front, and it's really clean. It just doesn't have the running boards. I'm not too worried about that because it's still a good looking casting, and really there's barely any sign that they were even there. So a really cool Dodge Ram pickup. There aren't a lot of these in this scale from this body style, and I think Johnny does one of the nicer ones, in my opinion, that I've seen. So I was pretty happy to find that, especially for 50 cents. I thought that was a great deal. And actually, I ended up trading the guy a mainline Hot Wheel for it that was an old blue card Cadillac. So another guy came up to me. I forget this guy's name, and I know that's terrible because he watches the videos, and he's a super cool dude. I've made some small trades with him in the past, and he's purchased some small stuff from me. But anyways, he acquired an assortment of cars, loose cars, and this happened to be in it. And he's like, I got this and I thought you might be interested. And I looked at it and I was like, absolutely. That's exactly the type of car that I like. And in looking at it, I don't know who makes it. I think I do. But take a look at this. It's a 1981 Plymouth Horizon. Now, I think that this is a Motormax Fresh Cherries, but I'm not positive. So if any of you know who made this, please comment below. I'm thinking Motormax Fresh Cherries, but check it out. Insert transparent lens taillights. They're not set perfect, but they don't look bad. Really nice trim. All the window trim, door handles. The wheels don't really do much for me, but the front end on this thing looks great. So basically it's a chrome insert for the grille, and then you have lens inserts for the headlights, and it just looks really good. Camera isn't really doing it much justice. So it's a super cool oddball car. And I've been saying that I want to see more cars from the 80s and 90s. And this is a perfect example. I'd like to see a Chrysler LeBaron and stuff like that. Just, the 80s was a horrible decade for cars. Most of the cars that were made in that decade are just crap. They're just not good. But because of that, all of the auto manufacturers had to step their game up. And I think throughout the 90s into the 2000s, all of the domestic manufacturers got a lot better in quality. So I like seeing this type of stuff because honestly, I don't think there's another Plymouth Horizon out there. So super cool casting. This is one of those oddballs that will never leave my collection. Alright, so now we're going to crack some cars open. I'm going to save the best one for last, but I'll start with this Series 8 Hot Pursuit. And this is just a generic Dodge Challenger SRT 8. This is the law enforcement sample car. So there's no number stamped on the base. I don't know what that's about. Don't really care, honestly. This thing is so dope. It doesn't have a light bar. You know, it's the generic Dodge sample model that they show all the law enforcement agencies across the country, just so that they can get an idea of what the Challenger would look like. I really like this casting though from Greenlight. It's a really big, heavy, bulky casting. And it's black, so it doesn't show up for squat on my camera. But the wheels look great. And my favorite feature of this car, if you take a look at the windshield, up at the top of the windshield, you have a light bar. So that's pretty cool. These are so big and so heavy that every single one of these that I have rolls so nice. So really cool car from Greenlight. And the rest of these are all Greenlight. This one here is from the new Mecum auctions. And you know, when I saw this set released, the only one I wanted was the Bronco. But as I continue to look at these cars, they are so nice. Look at the card art. That's the car it's based on. And that car actually did sell at auction. But look at all the body customization on that thing. Gives it a real modern look. And if you look at the back, it tells you all of the... Here, let me pull the car out, and then I'll read all the features that the car had. It is just a gorgeous little car. The interior looks so good. I love how, you know, we're starting to see that a lot from Auto World too. Lighter color interiors. It's a great idea because it really allows the detail to pop. You know, there's so much detail in these interiors, but when they do black, you can't see it. But there is something about this interior that's really cool that I'm going to show you here in a minute. Nice low number, 922, although I don't think they did a whole bunch of these Mecum cars. They're going to be, I think it's going to be a 5,000 production. Anyways, so here are the features. It has a custom rear valance, tucked and painted bumpers, which you can totally see here on the model. It looks great. I have a ton. I probably have 30 or 40 Greenlight old Mustangs like this. This is probably my favorite. It just looks so awesome. Custom mesh grille and front spoiler. That's probably not going to show through so well. Custom ground effects I don't think are going to show too well. Functional rear quarter air scoops, drip rails removed. It has the actual car had a 97 4.6 liter SVT Cobra engine. It has Ford Racing headers. Let's see if those are, yeah, they're not detailed per se, but Ford Racing headers in there. And then what else does it have here? Custom fabricated engine shroud, oversized aluminum radiator, custom exhaust with X-pipe, Ford automatic transmission with overdrive, four-wheel disc brakes, 2001 Mustang GT seats with memory foam. And here's the coolest thing about the interior, and I think you can kind of see it here. That is a modified 2007 Ford Mustang dash. So little details, and this car is so sick. I'm saying this is my favorite Greenlight classic Mustang in my collection, and that is saying something because I have a lot to choose from. This car just looks so good. So I got that. Okay. Nice silver racing stripes too. God, that thing was just killer looking. So I got this Motor World diorama. I don't buy a lot of these, but one thing I've noticed, and I think every one of these cars has it. Well, here, let me show you. The Ford Motorcraft Garage diorama. So I'm going to take these cars off. They're already basically off. This will be quick. I think I'm just going to work my way left to right. Okay, starting with this, what I believe is a 1967 Ford Custom. Yeah, maybe I should have had these more ready to go. You got to be careful with that, like it's ripping the tires off. And there's a stupid rubber band on this thing, which kind of baffles me. Definitely don't want to leave that on the car because it will damage the paint. So I have a nice little assortment of these Ford Customs. This is the only one that I have with a plastic base. That is one of the downsides of the Motor World. But it's a nice roller. It's a big, heavy casting. This is the Michigan State Police. Got nice blue steel wheels with the chrome hubcaps. Little gumball on top. Really nice detail in the front end with the grille and the headlights. Detailed bumper with painted indicators. Opening the hood. I really like the back end on this car too. Really nice tail lights with the state police. So that is your Ford Custom. It is a 1967 Ford Custom. All right, so the next car coming out is probably my favorite. It is a very, very clean looking car with some nice graphics on it. And it's hard to see the cars in full when they're in the diorama. As I take this one out, I can see the wheels on it are awesome looking, and I don't know that I have a Greenlight car that has these wheels. I don't believe that I do. This is another classic Ford Mustang going into my collection. The nice thing about this one, as I've noticed with the Motor World dioramas, is they are going with more metal bases. The last diorama that I got was I think the Rocky Mountain Trail Climbers, or it might have been the Texaco, but I think every car in both of those dioramas had metal base except one. This is an awesome roller. It is a very cool looking Ford Motorcraft car. Awesome racing graphics on it. Little sponsor badges with the Champion spark plugs. Goodyear, Texaco. really cool car. Just a really cool car. That's just all there is to it. All the detail. Let's see, the headlights look like they've been converted to air intakes. Nice detailed engine. Got the number 12 with the Motorcraft on the hood. And this is a 1967 Ford Mustang. The detail on this car is just phenomenal. Another killer Ford Mustang. And I'm not a big fan of the Ford Mustangs, the classic Mustangs, because as far as like classic cars go and muscle cars, those are a dime a dozen. So I like the more harder to find stuff, like the Mopar stuff, which you don't seem to find as much of. But I think both of these Mustangs I got tonight are awesome. And there's just more awesome stuff to come. I got to try to hurry because I'm at 16 minutes and I got some other really cool stuff that I want to show. Alright, so this is the ever popular 1967 Ford F-100 casting that Greenlight has been bombarding collectors with. It has come out in just about every single release that they have brought out since they released the tooling. So, and I think I have most of them. There's a few that I'm missing, but by and large, I think I have probably only missing maybe two. But here it is. It's an awesome looking truck. This one does have the slanted bed, which is a very common thing with this pickup. But these prototypical hubcaps look awesome. And the graphics with the Motorcraft livery it just looks great. You got a nice skinny toolbox there in the bed. This is the only Ford F-100 that they've released with the toolbox. Just a really, really cool casting. I dig it. Some really cool detail. So this is one of those dioramas, I think, that is worth picking up because of how cool the cars are. The cars definitely have a lot of cool factor, and the Ford F-100 also has a metal base. So far, the only car of this set that doesn't is the Ford Custom. This car here is so killer. Just a killer car. Wow, that looks so good. Okay, now this is a casting we have not seen from Greenlight in quite some time. They used to put this out a lot back 2012, 2013, and even prior to that. But since then, for whatever reason, we have not seen this car very much. And that is a 1966 Ford Galaxie 500. And this one here is a total beauty. It is just so killer looking. So, this Ford Galaxie, you know, it really doesn't come out very often. It hasn't been out in the Muscle series in a long time. It hasn't been out in Country Roads in a long time. It hasn't been out in a long time. So it is cool to see them bring this back out. It does have a metal base. It does have an opening hood. This is a very nice casting. It's a nice tooling. It's got really nice sculpted detail, nice lines, nice proportions. It's scaled appropriately. And I just think they did a really nice job with it. The older ones from back in the day, I think the detail on those is more refined. Like this here looks a little bit more basic, not quite as nice. but it's still an awesome car. I really like these wheels too. I think these wheels look really good, and here's the wheels on the Mustang. I really like what we're seeing from Greenlight lately with the wheels. We're seeing really good variety of wheels, and I think that we're seeing a lot of different styles that we haven't seen before. So Greenlight is really going strong with their product. Okay, so some of the shop tools you get with the diorama, you get the Motorcraft toolbox. Just a dope little toolbox. You get the cherry picker, and you get the battery charger. So all three of these come with the 4 cars. If you're lucky enough to find these at Toys R Us, they're about $17 or $18. But that is a cool little set, so I'm glad to get that. Okay. Now I'm 21 minutes in. I've got one more that I want to show. I requested this car. So the guy that I get a lot of my Greenlight from, local to me, has a wholesale distributor connection. And I told him last week that I wanted this one. He's like, I'll get it for you. I didn't realize it would be that quick. And I didn't realize it would be this cheap. So, put it back in here and show you guys. This, I think, is a hobby exclusive. And I was stoked about this casting since the moment they announced it. It's a totally brand new tooling from Greenlight. And it's going to be a very hard one to find. Even though there are going to be around 10,000 of them, there's going to be a lot of people collecting this. A lot of people that don't collect diecast are going to be collecting this just because of the subject matter. And this is the Greenlight United States Postal Service LLV with the mailbox. So LLV is just short for long life vehicle. Basically, it's your standard mail truck. Now, before I get into that one, I want to show this one. This is 1:68 scale, made by Matchbox. This came out a few years back. It is an awesome little casting from Matchbox. And it's pretty tough to find nowadays, and it seems like every time I do see it, whoever it is selling it wants $5-10. So it's not a cheap one for being just a mainline Matchbox. But for being a mainline Matchbox, it has some really nice detail. Some really nice detail. So this is your Matchbox casting of the LLV 1:68 scale. Nice little casting. Those were $1 back in the day. If I would have collected back then, I would have stocked up. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the premium Greenlight model. Which I assure you is far more detailed and absolutely amazing. So the one I got is number 7342. It's metal body, metal base, separate plastic bumpers. These wheels I do not believe I have seen from Greenlight. These are some black steelies. But this casting is incredible. The detail that they have put into this thing is stellar. It's so well done. So there's your base. You can see nice skinny tires. Front axle is a lot narrower than the rear, but still proportioned well with the body of the truck. You've got the rear mirror here. These are extra pieces, so they are delicate. The side views are extra pieces, so you have to be careful with those. But even the mirrors are detailed with silver paint. I mean, this thing is just so dope. We have transparent insert lens headlights with tampoed indicators, detailed wipers. These steelies are sick. I don't know if the camera will pull in the detail, but they look great. And then the back actually opens. I'm not going to open it though. Well, I guess I'll try, but I'm not going to force the issue. Oh, yeah. Wow. So cool. That is rad. That is so cool, man. They really did a nice job with this one. Nice job, Greenlight. Very well done. Really nice rolling car. It's really wide. So moving it and storing it, you're going to want to be very careful because of the extra pieces with the mirrors. But I'm telling you what, every postal worker that collects postal stuff, any American that collects post office stuff is probably going to want this. So I could be wrong, but I have a feeling it's going to be a sought-after piece. And if it is a hobby exclusive, like I think it is, then it's not one that you're going to find on the pegs at Hobby Lobby or Toys R Us. You're going to have to go to the secondary market to get it. But it's just a really cool piece. They're bringing this out again in plain white livery, and I think they're going to do it Canada, the Canadian Postal Service. So I don't care much for the white one, but I will be interested in the Canadian Postal Service truck. There's your side-by-side with the Matchbox. Both of them are great-looking trucks. There's no doubt Greenlight did it better, and obviously it's 6 times the price, so it should have been better. Also, with the Greenlight mail truck, you get a United States Post Office mailbox. So how cool is that? And the cool thing about it, so I got, okay, before I wrap up the video, Greenlight earlier this year, it might have been late last year, they acquired the licensing for the U.S. Post Office. They put out the first casting in the HD trucks, which was the international box truck. So I picked that up, and then the next one that came out was the Jeep. Now the Jeep originally was supposed to have the post office logo, and then they changed it to postal carrier or something like that, so it doesn't actually have the United States Postal Service logo on it. But it did come with a mailman who's carrying a mail bag. So now that I have the mailman and the mail truck and the mailbox, that's just a good combination to have. So anyways, I thought for sure today was a really cool, really good day adding Greenlight, and it kind of frustrates me. Like, I love that Greenlight puts out so much awesome stuff, but I do kind of wish they would slow down just so that I could catch up, because I can't afford to keep up with all the awesome stuff that they've been bringing out, you know, and it just starts to get expensive. So, but anyways, what a day, what a diecast day on this Friday, or it's Friday, this is Saturday the 21st of October 2017. Hopefully you guys all found some cool diecast today as well. Just awesome stuff. A Plymouth Horizon. I mean, come on, where are you gonna find another one of those? The awesome Dodge Ram. Got our little scaled diecast tools. And then the good stuff. That Mustang is just unbelievably cool. All the custom work that's done to it. And it's the same tooling that they've used, but the way that they painted the bumpers really gives it that custom look. So that's another nice job from Greenlight. And that Ford Galaxy, it's really nice to see that casting back. So, if you're interested in Greenlight, don't forget to check out za3collectibles.com. It is the resource for Greenlight stuff. I'm shouting them out for free. I'm not sponsored, but it's a great resource for Greenlight stuff. They always let you know what is on the way from Greenlight. Like right now, there is so much cool stuff coming out this fall. The A-Team van and just some killer stuff. Even a few new toolings coming out. So if you like Greenlight, definitely check out za3collectibles.com and enjoy your die casting. Thanks for checking out the video, everybody. Have a good rest of your weekend, and I will holler at the next video.